have a title. We have a title.
Yeah,
We're
you
checking
go ahead.
our research on the title. We're calling it Navigation, One Chapter in the Art of Milonguear. Navigation is what, it's part of the big picture of what a milonga is and what what it can be. The term navigation sort of sounds like you're in a boat and you're steering through all the rocks and the rapids, when really it's sort of misrepresentation, because really instead of rocks and current you have other people, or you have other boats that are steering in the same river. And therefore, if you're all in the same river, there are different ways of dealing with other traffic in the river, and some of them are cooperative and some of them are not. And to me, good navigation is when it's a cooperative use of your flow, your river. The navigation really assists this kind of organic sense of community. And when you see it on the floor, you really recognize it, because sitting and watching, the room is an organic thing. What it means is that what you've done is you've done your work to be able to be a contributing part of the whole thing of a milonga.
I think the Argentines have a good way of thinking about it too, and they end up talking about respect. They use the phrase respect a lot, as far as not respecting the other dancers on the floor. If you're interfering because of your choices, or your partner's choices, if you're interfering with their ability to have a good time in their dance, you're not showing respect.
It is respect, you respect your partner, you respect yourself, you respect the other people on the dance floor, you respect the music, you respect the milonga, so you don't break social codes, you're not obnoxious or something. It's all involved. It isn't just what you can do, but you don't bother other people on the floor. And that was a huge lesson for me in navigation from the follower's point of view, that fancy things that you can do may be gorgeous, but navigationally they may not be an asset. Skill, and I think that, of course, our interest is navigating really crowded floors. And what you get in that, with that subtle work, is you get a subtlety and a depth and a richness that you don't have in the thrill of big movements and tearing around. And you also, it changes your relationship with the music. You really are somehow, in a way, paying more attention to the music, because the music and your partner is about what you've got. You don't have a whole room.
They were pushing me. So they'd get up, like this close behind me or this close on all sides. And because I'd been practicing on these turns and I could just do something interesting in place, all of a sudden, after about the first song, they just backed off and gave me my space.
Yeah, see, they try to ease, if you, as another leader, you can't hold your space, they always challenge that to see. And they will just ease you into the center or into the next lane over to get you out of their way. And that usually happens on turns. If you don't have your ability on that, that's when they can move you in.
That's where I was so grateful for that practice and skill of doing a turn in place. Well, that became the lasting memory for me of that entire second trip, was that there's this brotherhood of men that forms, they're always different. It's the man in front and the man behind me. And at the end of the tanda, or the end of the song, but typically the tanda, we would just look at each other, smile and nod an appreciation for giving each other the space to have our own dance. And there's that nonverbal cooperation, but you have to earn it.
Milonguear And Milonguear is a word that means to milonga. It's
Laurel
like-
made that word up.
I did not make that word up. I did not. But it's kind of a slang that means the whole thing of tango, of the milonga. You know, it's I milonga, milongueando. And I like the one which I think is, I've made up, I think, is milongueamos, which would be we milonga, which to me is navigation. And so that's our title, and we want to talk about tango as perceptions and concepts of how you see, you know, performance tango is a certain concept, and you see the floor in a certain way. And what we want to teach in this class is how to think about the floor in a social milonga, and what is, you know, how to think about your dance so that it fits there. And then we want to talk about kinds of space that you have, and a few technical skills to start working on to be able to use the kinds of space that you have.
We have some exercises in mind that we've been working at that, you know, we're personally working on these in our own dance, but we want to share them. We want to share them as far as ways to add good energy to a very small piece of real estate in
And then
dancing.
how to move that small piece of real estate around the room so that the whole room moves, even though you only have, you know, that much. It's you have your little space, and then you have that everyone's little space moves. That's another skill.
It's awesome.
Oh, well, hopefully, hopefully it's awesome. We want to be awesome.
That's our plan.
All right.